Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Box Office Receipts for the weekend of May 10th, 2019. I am your host, Tyler Callahan, and we got the top 5 international updates and what is coming out this week. Let's start with the top 5 of the weekend. In first place for the third weekend in a row is Avengers Endgame with 63 million, with a total now of 723 million. In second place is Detective Pikachu with $54 million. In third place is The Hustle with 13.5 million. In fourth place is The Intruder with 7 million for a total of 21 million. Lastly, in fifth place is Long Shot with 6.2 million for a total of 19.7 million. So there were two movies I was wrong about this weekend. The first is the big one with Detective Pikachu. I thought it would do 70 million, maybe even 80, but it ended up at 54 million, just around what other analysis were thinking. I was right in that the Avengers would do between 60 to 70 million, giving Pokemon the shot, but it did not work. Now, why did this happen? Well, it seems like a case of the hype is bigger than the audience. For example, everyone was hyped from the trailers and the reviews were decent that it would make sense it could go big. You'd have multiple generations of people come and watch this. And while people did come out to do so, they were not in massive crowds. Meaning while people were looking forward to it, they were not actually crazy about it. It wasn't like Avengers where it was must see. The opposite of this, though, would be Avengers Endgame, where the audience was bigger than the hype, where now people just keep coming back to watch it. Otherwise, the other movie I got wrong was Palms, which I thought would do okay. Opened in 6th place with about $5 million. Not good at all. All it had to do was make an extra $2 million, and it would have been good, but couldn't even do that. Now let's move over to some international updates. Avengers Endgame continues its march to taking over Avatar with $1.7 billion internationally, for a worldwide total now of $2.4 billion. Detective Pikachu has had a solid international opening for $112 million for a worldwide opening of $166 million. Longshot has now made $3.1 million internationally for a worldwide total of $22.9 million. The Curse of La Llorona with now $62 million internationally for a worldwide total of $113.6 million. The Hustle opened to $13.7 million internationally as well for a worldwide total of $27.2 million for its opening. Now let's talk about what's coming out this week. We've got a few. The big one though is John Wick 3, which is shaping up to be an amazing ending for this action trilogy. This franchise has built up a growing audience and expect that to make an impact this weekend. I'm thinking between 40 to 50 million for an opening weekend, which I think would give it first place. I expect Endgame to be between 25 to 35 million and Pikachu at 20 to 30 million. Now there is also another movie called A Dog's Journey, which is another dog family movie, but I think that will end up behind all of these. So my predictions are: in first place, John Wick 3, second place, Avengers Endgame, third place, Detective Pikachu, fourth place, A Dog's Journey, and fifth place, The Hustle. That's right, it's going to take John Wick to take out the Avengers. But anyway, that's it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. As always, if you have any thoughts about these, let me know on Twitter at TylerCallahan95 or on Instagram at TylerCallahanMedia. As always, thank you for listening and see you next week.